Hey everyone, it's Lime, and today I'm playing New World. An open world MMO loaded with danger and plenty of resources to gather and collect. In today's video, we're going to talk about refining and crafting and why it's important to do so. So first things first, we're going to look into refining. And in refining, the first thing you're going to want to do is go out and start gathering. Now, gathering is really important in this game because, first off, you get experience for doing it. Second off, it's going to give you the resources you need to get further in the game. And even if you don't plan on being a crafter yourself, you're still going to need these resources to give to a crafter or even to trade on the market so you can get the gold or the resources you need to get the gear you want. Now, when it comes to gathering, as far as what type of thing to gather, my recommendation is just gather everything. Everything has a different value to a different person, and depending what kind of build you are going for, you're going to need different resources to do that. There's everything from arcana to weaponsmithing to armorsmithing, so just gather what you can and take it all in. Also, with the gathering, there are gathering skills associated with particular skill sets, and leveling these up increases the amount of resources you get for each individual category. Also, within these categories, you're going to unlock higher tier items for each category as you level the category up. Another reason that gathering can be very useful is it's a good way to generate some extra gold if you're finding you're running a little short. If you just take a little bit of time, go out of town, mine a bunch of iron or a bunch of wood or something simple, basic that everybody needs, you can sell it easily on the market, claim a little bit of gold for a little bit of work. This can also be useful in acquiring materials that are above what your current skills are, or if you decide that you just wanted to specialize rather than cover a little bit of everything. Another thing to talk about when it comes to gathering is that most regions will have certain resources that they have a greater abundance of. Now, most regions are going to have a little bit of everything. They might not have every single resource, but they're going to have most of what you're going to need in every essential one. Now, for all the rest of the stuff, I like to use a resource map because it's really great. You can just find what you need, go to a region and farm a whole bunch of it while you're there. And it's just very helpful. I'll provide a link down in the description of the resource map that I use, but there are lots of them out there, so if you just want to find your own, you can do that too. Now that all of your gathering is done, let's talk about refining. Now, refining is pretty straightforward for the most part. You're going to grab your resources that you've gathered while you're out, like your wood, your iron, your fiber, and you're going to refine it into the basic products that you need to start crafting. So you're going to pick your station. Let's say, for example, you want to go with weaving. You're going to take your fiber, you go to the weaving station, and you're going to go in there and you're going to process. It's going to cost you a fee, and eventually you're going to rank up your weaving. And when you rank it up high enough, you unlock the next thing that you're going to weave, and that's going to need more ingredients and reagents. Reagents are going to be found throughout the areas, and there's varying tiers of those, and you find them depending on the difficulty of the area. These reagents, with all their varying tiers, is just going to increase the amount of bonus material you get when you're refining. Some of the later products that you're going to be refining in the game are going to require specific reagents to actually refine them, so you might want to hang on to those and save those for when you get to that point. also within refining, this is where you realize the value of gathering your basic materials. All of your base materials refine up, and every tier will use the previous tier to refine itself up. Some of the endgame content also comes with cooldowns on it, so you can only craft a limited amount in a limited amount of time. It's just to prevent everybody from going out there and maxing out on these materials, but it's really good because it also means that there's not a real large abundance of them and it keeps the value of them higher. And it's for this reason that I would recommend, if you're going to play this game, at least rank up your refining, because being able to craft these things and be able to use these cooldowns is extremely valuable when it comes to endgame. Now that all the refining's done, the gathering's done, it's finally time to get into it. Let's start talking about crafting. Now, crafting is a very large category and it can be expanded across multiple different trades. So, to simplify it, I'm just going to use one or two as an example and we'll go from there. Now, if you intend to be a crafter in this game, my recommendation, at least early on or for your first one, is to focus down on one skill. It's pretty easy to get all of the skills up to kind of middle range, but after a while, the amount of resources you're going to need to level stuff up, it's just far more beneficial to focus on one skill. Once you've chosen your skill of choice, though, you're going to want to go through what is available for you to craft. Choose something that is efficient on amount of materials you're consuming, and then go from there and just craft a bunch of them. If you're crafting items to use all of your best quality items. If you're crafting stuff specifically for leveling up, you want to use lesser quality parts where you can, just to save on materials and to save on the amount that you're crafting. You get the same amount of experience for crafting items whether you use poor quality or high quality materials. That makes no difference. So you just don't want to waste your high quality materials if you're not planning to use it. Now, as you level up your crafting skill, you will unlock new items, and the newer items do give more experience to craft them, but they also have higher crafting costs. So you have to pay attention and watch this, because sometimes crafting the higher tier item costs you more in resources than it does to craft the lower tier item. Sometimes it's still beneficial to craft the higher tier item. It's just something that you will have to watch for and keep an eye on if you intend to use crafting to level up your skill. You may want to choose a crafting skill that's complementary to your playstyle. For example, if you're a mage, you're going to want to focus on Arcana. If you want to be more of a ranged player, you're going to want to work at the workshop. If you choose to use melee weapons, you're going to want to go weaponsmithing. But you do have to pay attention to this, as some weapons may not be made where you think they are, and it's best to focus on the skills that are going to benefit you the most. And also, secondarily, there are some trade skills that are just beneficial in general. For example, the workshop is going to have all of your tools. So this will have your gathering tools, which will help you get the resources faster and quicker. Now, you can train in this category so that you can make higher tier ones, or you can find other crafters and see if you can barter with them or trade with them or even buy them off the market if you're trying to get higher tier items so that you can gather better to enhance your crafting ability. Also, armorsmithing is another category that has some useful items in it, such as bags, bigger bags, so you can carry more materials, meaning you can go out and gather more at a time and come back less often to do your refining. And there is also armors and jewelry that you can wear that'll increase the skill level of the items you craft. This is very helpful when you're at the end game and you're trying to craft that high tier item. And finally, I would like to talk about furnishing. Furnishing can be a very underappreciated skill. It's only really beneficial if you own a house in the game, and owning a house can be a very expensive endeavor to do. However, there are lots of benefits to doing so, and then with furnishing, you can actually increase the value of that area for yourself. For example, you can put trophies in the house that'll give you all kinds of benefits, from hunting to gathering skills to crafting skills to there's several different trophies, and you have room for so many of them in the house. The other benefits of it is you can put storage boxes in these houses, which increase the storage capacity of whatever town that you put these storage boxes into. Now, as a crafter myself, or at least I aspire to be, having lots of storage is extremely beneficial. When you go on a crafting spree, you want to craft things, especially in the end game, when you're trying to get that perfect item. You don't want to just be sitting there and craft one item and then have to go hunt for resources again. You want to have resources on hand so you can craft many, many items at a time, because this game is all about chance, and you're not going to get anything if you don't put the effort in. If you like the content in this video, please hit the like button, consider subscribing. If you have suggestions for any future topics, let me know down in the comments. If there's anything else you'd like me to expand on, also hit me up in the comments.